Live from Technion webinars with Technion experts.
Cornell Tech as a whole is a pretty amazing and innovative place. Through our partnership with the Technion, we represent the global connection for the whole campus. That's with the Technion in Haifa, with the rest of Israel, and well beyond to the rest of the world. Our crown jewel is a unique program intended to turn recent PhDs into CEOs in charge of deep tech products based on their research. So today, to highlight what Runway is doing and to show off some of our really most interesting and ambitious entrepreneurs, we're very pleased to feature for you two exciting efforts. The first will be covered by our colleagues Server Ertem and Rebecca Brachman.
Today, Rebecca and I are very excited to tell you more about the project that we're developing on COVID-19.
And so what we are working on is an accurate point-of-care test that would be predictive of immunity, and also a technology platform that goes with that will capture that data and share it with the appropriate governments. And the goal is to create these immunity certificates that you have heard about in a way that is safe, but also longitudinally tracking to make sure that people continue to have immunity even if they have it at the first time the test is taken.
This is going to work with 2 drops of blood that's taken from a finger prick. And then the data will be collected that is an optical reader integrated into mobile devices. And this is going to allow us to have accurate measurement of the signal intensity. The signal intensity in this case is very important because, as Rebecca described, it's not about if you have the antibody or not, but how much antibody you have. So we're building the computational tools that can do the analysis in the cloud such that a high signal would correlate with high COVID immunity. Once this data is analyzed, we're also going to combine it with location data so that we can start collecting critical information that's going to help the policymakers, healthcare providers, as well as patients make critical decisions.
Next, I'd like to introduce a recent graduate from the Runway program and Technion alumnus, Tomer Morad.
So anyway, about the Runway program. So after finishing my PhD at the end of 2015, I moved with my family, my wife and my baby son to New York City from Tel Aviv to join the Runway postdoc program. And my plan was to start a new venture that will solve a big problem, namely how to make computing systems more powerful and efficient by teaching them how to tune themselves. So I want you to imagine for a moment what would be the implications if our computing systems had 25% more performance. So the first thing that would happen is that we would be able to do the same amount of work, just faster, 20% faster to be exact. So we will have 20% lower latency and 20% faster or shorter response times. Now, how can we do that? So the premise is that computing systems have hundreds of tunable settings, and you can find them in the BIOS, in the processors, in the firmware, the operating systems, the middleware like databases or like orchestration. You can find them in the applications and even the choice of compiler flags that you use to compile your binaries. Now, the idea is that if you tailor all of these settings to your needs, you get significantly higher performance and lower costs. But what used to be easy when there were only a handful of settings, and back then you would put a performance engineer, he or she would try a few combinations and arrive to a good result. Today, that's impossible because today, with the hundreds of tunable settings, the parameter space is simply huge. The number of combinations to configure a system today can reach even 10 to the power of 300, like an enormous number like that. So you cannot really go and check all the possibilities. And this is where we come in. Our products basically automate the process of performance tuning by leveraging machine learning techniques.
Thanks to Server, Rebecca, and Tomer for your amazing work and your public spiritedness and your agility, which we hope to be hallmarks of the Runway program and the Jacobs Institute in the future.